Guys, that Pokemon Presents might have just been one of the best Pokemon presentations that I have seen in literal years from the Pokemon Company. Like, I don't remember being this satisfied and happy from a Pokemon presentation in a very long time. And so there's really only two things that are inside of this that I really care about, which I'm going to be talking to you guys inside of this video, but I'm just going to be sharing kind of my general thoughts about why I'm so excited for all of this, why I'm very happy from all of this, and then maybe I'll make like a more in-depth video about like the Legend ZA stuff and kind of talking about like the little things that you might have missed and things like that towards the future, maybe around like this weekend. But today's just going to be kind of my general thoughts and impressions, and I am just very happy, so let's get right into it. Now, of course, the biggest thing that everyone was looking forward to for this Pokemon Presents was a look at Pokemon Legend ZA, as this game was announced on Pokemon Day last year, and it has been an entire full year, and since then we have not gotten any type of update on this game, no new trailers or screenshots or anything. We had no idea what this game even looked like, and so today we finally got that unveiled to us, and I gotta say, I am very, very impressed. So just going off of the trailer that they gave us, the game already looks like it's going to be an improvement from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which people already thought was a pretty good improvement for Generation 9, but we can see here that this game does look pretty similar to that, which is also matching like the rumors that Riddler Coup gave us about how the art style of this game is going to be similar to Gen 9, and as a result, it's I think very easy to tell that this game is going to be a modern setting, it's going to be a futuristic game. I know that was a huge debate about people like going back and forth about if Legend ZA was going to be set in the past, and people were like, oh, it's going to be the creation of Lumiose and all of that. I always kept saying like that initial teaser looked very futuristic to me. It looked like it was very sci-fi and kind of holographic and all of that. It seemed like to me that they really were trying to hint that it was going to be a future game, and this is very much going to be a futuristic game. I mean, the best piece of evidence is that we can see that AZ is here and he has his Floette, which literally comes back to him at the end of Pokemon X and Y anyway, so we can tell that this is going to be a sequel and a continuation based off of that. But yeah, I'm very happy with how this game looks. Like, even just comparing it to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet with like the city, you can see here the buildings are much more detailed, like it's looking much more condensed with like the different characters that are here too. It doesn't look like it's kind of very empty, so I'm very happy with how this game is looking. Now, if we head on over to the website here, we've got some even more information. So it says Pokemon Legend ZA releases in late 2025. And so they didn't give us an actual release date, but we all know that whenever they say a game comes out in the late part of the year for Pokemon, it's always going to be the week before Thanksgiving. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be in November, but I feel like the reason that they're not telling us the actual release day is because I feel like this game is going to appear again inside of that Nintendo Switch 2 Direct that's going to be happening in April. And I don't know, I just feel like with the rumors that we heard too about how there might be a Switch 2 version of this game, I think it's possible that there could be like an enhanced version of Pokemon Legends ZA that's going to look even better, and that one's going to be for the Switch 2, and they might be saving that to show us inside of that Nintendo Direct. So it's possible it could be shown inside of there. But even if it doesn't, this game does look really good already, so I'm very happy with what we have. And so we can take a look right here, and it just says here, talking about Lumiose City, how basically it's going to be different from the Pokemon X and Y games, and how there's now going to be a lot more greenery, and there's a lot more like parks and cafes and restaurants and things that they've added. So this to me 100% confirms that this game is going to be set entirely in the city. But just looking at this map right here too, we can see kind of how expanded this city is going to feel. Like all of these different sectors here, like look at all the little alleyways and buildings and things that you have here. I do feel like this is still going to feel like an entire adventure exploring, even if we don't have like caves and forests and deserts and things to go to. Even just having like this entire city and discovering all these little areas inside of it, I do think that it's still going to be a massive place to explore. Even just looking like inside of things too, because it shows here like there's an interior that you can go inside of too. There's going to be buildings that you can go inside of while also still having the entire like outside of the city itself. So I do feel like it's going to be very, very big, so I'm not too worried about that. And just the entire game itself looks really good too. This is now matching pretty much all of the rumors that we've heard about how it's going to have a similar art style to Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And so, yeah, this to me definitely confirms now that this game is very much going to be a futuristic game. And we'll get more into that towards like the end when they start talking about the characters here. But yeah, this is definitely not looking like it's going to be a game where they're building Lumios for the first time, or it's going to be set in the past or anything. I know a lot of people were debating about if it's going to be a futuristic game or if it was going to be a game in the past. And I always said, like, as soon as they showed us that initial little teaser with the Pikachu running with like all the like holographic stuff, I was always saying like this looks very sci-fi and futuristic to me. And it definitely feels like that's kind of the direction that they were going for here, which I'm very happy with because we already saw a game set in the past with Legends Arceus, so I didn't want it to be the exact same thing, and I didn't want these Legends games to just be like all prequel games that are set in the past. So we saw one game set in the past, and now we're seeing one in the future, so I'm very much looking forward to this one. And yeah, we've got some other images here that we can see. Like, there's actually going to be places that you can go inside of this city as well. Like, the interior here looks really nice for some of these areas. We've got the entire city, which is looking really good too. So I'm just very happy. Like, I think like the extra year that they took now that we didn't get any type of new information or news about these games, or like this game, I guess, it's really like really good now. I'm very happy that they took an extra year for more polish. Like, the game itself is just looking better than Scarlet and Violet. The trailer itself didn't have like the weird frame rate drops and stuff that we saw. So I'm just very happy with how this game is looking. And then we can even see here, like with the wild Pokemon, there's going to be like these wild zones that you can go inside of. And the models for all of these Pokemon look so good too. They're all very vibrant. They're all very detailed. They look really nice. Like, this Mareep here looks even better than like the Mareep that we saw in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And if I can find a picture of it, I'll put it up on screen for you to compare. It just looks much more colorful and vibrant. Like, everything about this game is just looking much better than what we've seen already. And so what we've seen from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet is just looking even better now. And this is the craziest thing, where we can actually see here like how it's going to look like in terms of battles and how it's going to be like with like catching Pokemon. So it's still going to be like the action style of catching where you're aiming your Pokeball and you throw it yourself. But the craziest thing about this entire game, the thing that makes me the most excited, is they have completely changed the combat system for how battles are going to work inside of this game. And so if we take a look down here, it says a Pokemon series first. Pokemon and trainers take action in real time during battle. In previous titles in the Pokemon video game series, Pokemon took action once per turn. In Pokemon Legends EA, trainers and their Pokemon will move around in real time during battles, and Pokemon will unleash their moves when their trainers command them to. In addition to type matchups, there will be new gameplay mechanics to consider, such as the precise timing for swapping out of your Pokemon or using moves, the different lengths of times that moves will take to launch, and how big of an area that these moves will impact. This unprecedented style of Pokemon battling is one of the most thrilling parts of this title. So they have completely changed how Pokemon battles are going to work. It is not turn-based battles anymore. It is even more action than it was in Pokemon Legends Arceus. And so I feel like some people aren't even understanding really truly how much of a change this is, because here's a screenshot that really kind of shows it better. I feel like we're straight up Xenoblade now. Like, if you guys have played a Xenoblade game, inside of those games, you have like different arts that you're basically charging up that you have to use, and then you use an attack and then wait for it to charge up again. That is essentially what they've done now inside of Pokemon. Like, it is even mapped kind of the same way here, where I'm pretty sure it's going to work a similar way here, where like this is going to be your A button, this is going to be your B button, this is going to be your Y button, and this is going to be your X button, and they're all going to be mapped to a different art. And so we can see right here, once you use an attack, there's going to be like this little bar here that's going to fill up, and you're going to have to wait till that fills up all the way till you can use the attack again. So it is no longer going to be like a PP style of battling like what we've had before, like where you can only use Razor Leaf like 10 times, and then after it runs out, it's over, you can't use it anymore. This is going to be like you can use Razor Leaf as many times as you want, as long as once after you use it once, you wait for the bar to fill up and recharge again. So this is going to completely change how battles are going to work, because certain attacks are going to take longer to charge up, and so you're going to have to think about which types of moves you want. If like a move takes really long to charge up, then another Pokemon maybe could interrupt you and attack before you're able to charge that up. Certain moves are going to be much more long range, like you're going to have certain moves maybe like Thunder Shock, which we can see here, that's going to be more long range, so you can actually shoot out like a little lightning bolt, compared to like using like fist attacks that are going to be much more closer range. So maybe for like a slow Pokemon, you can have moves that are more long range, so you don't have to be like worrying about like running up to the Pokemon and stuff like that. Like, they're really changing up the complete combat style of how this game is going to work, and that is making me super excited, because what this to me now shows is that Pokemon Legends games are going to completely change how the combat works. Like, whatever the next Pokemon Legends game is going to be after Legends EA, it's going to be completely different now for how the battles are going to work, because with Pokemon Legends Arceus, we still had like the same traditional turn-based battles, but they added some new stuff like the strong style moves and the agile style moves. But this is completely like a departure from turn-based battles in its entirety. Like, it's just going to be completely different. We're just having straight up real-time battles now. And even the other mechanics are looking like they're going to work differently too, because here's an image here of like what Mega Evolution is going to be looking like. And it looks like Mega Evolution is going to be kind of based around a time. Like, where we can see here, like once you start a Mega Evolution, there's going to be like a little bar here that starts kind of ticking down. And it's kind of reminding me of like if you've played Xenoblade 3, you've had Ouroboros, where like if you use Ouroboros, you can only use that form for a certain amount of time before it starts getting, it starts like ticking down and you have to get out of that form. So it is looking like it's going to be very similar to that now. And yeah, man, this is looking very, very exciting. I can't wait to see how this style of battling is going to be with certain Pokemon, slow Pokemon, fast Pokemon, using different styles of attacks. Like, this might be one of the most fun combat systems ever for Pokemon. And it just makes me very excited, because I feel like now Legends games are just going to be my favorite style of Pokemon battles, because like every single game is going to feel completely different compared to like how every single new generation just feels like a traditional Pokemon game. This is going to be like every single new Pokemon Legends game is going to feel like a breath of fresh air, and that is just super, super exciting. And going back here now to like the website, we can see here what your characters are going to look like. I'm a big fan of how these designs are looking for the protagonist too. And then we've got the starter Pokemon here as well. And so this is crazy, because the starters, there's 2 of them from Johto. Like, we've got 2 Gen 2 starters. Gen 2 is getting a ton of love here inside of these Legends games, because we had Cyndaquil in the last Pokemon Legends game, and then we've got the other 2 Gen 2 starters inside of this one, and then just Tepig here on his own. So yeah, I mean, out of these 3, my favorite is Totodile, so I'm probably going to be going with Totodile. But then again, all 3 of these are probably going to get Mega Evolutions now. Like, there's probably going to be a Mega Meganium, Mega Emboar, and Mega Feraligatr. So based on that, I'll probably see which one I like in terms of its form the most, and then maybe I'll change my starter based off of that. But just going off of these initial 3 Pokemon, Totodile is definitely my favorite out of these 3. And yeah, I mean, we can see right here, these are the Pokemon themselves. Let me know down below in the comments which of these 3 is your favorite, which starter are you going to be going with. And then here we've got like some of the new characters that we can see here, Urbane and Tawny. I feel like this is just going to be dependent on, like, if you pick like a male protagonist, you're going to meet the girl character. If you pick a female protagonist, you're going to meet the guy character. But here is the absolute craziest thing. AZ is here. Bro, this is the most exciting thing. If you know anything about Pokemon history, AZ is one of the most mysterious characters in this entire franchise who has not gotten any type of explanation or lore or anything. AZ has literally been around since the initial like Pokemon War, which happened like thousands of years ago, basically in Kalos. And then we've also got like his Floette here, which is basically the biggest indication that this game is going to be set in the future, because his Floette literally returns to him at the end of Pokemon X and Y. And if it's here now, then that means that this is taking place after Pokemon X and Y. So after X and Y, why he decided to become a hotel owner, I have no idea, but maybe that'll all be explained. But I can't wait to learn more lore about this character, more lore about like Floette, how Zygarde is going to work into all of this. Like, this is looking so exciting, and I'm very happy that Pokemon Z, Pokemon AZ, and all of this is just finally going to make sense, because Kalos has been one of the most kind of just mysterious regions because of how we never got like that closure with Pokemon Z. So this is super exciting. We've also got some of the other characters here too, like the Quasartico, like incorporated like company that's going to be running kind of like the city here. So we've got that. And then also the legendary Pokemon Zygarde. Zygarde is made up of a multitude of cell-like components, and so we already know about all of these different forms, but it seems like here it's going to have a bigger role. And so it says here, what could this connection to the story be? And I mean, from rumors, we've already kind of heard that there is probably going to be a Mega Zygarde, so that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, I mean, that's going to be really cool. And then we've got the Mega Evolutions here too, so a Pokemon can actually Mega Evolve once again, and that's super exciting too. We've got a bunch of Mega Pokemon that they've shown us here, Mega Charizard X and Y, Kangaskhan, Ampharos, Gardevoir, Sableye, Altaria, Absol, and Lucario. I'm sure there's going to be other Mega Pokemon as well, and I'm sure there's going to be brand new Mega Evolutions that they haven't shown us either. So I do think that now there's probably going to be another Pokemon Presents that's going to happen around the summer, around August, like how we usually do, and I think that's going to give us some more information about like some of the new Mega Evolutions and how the combat and everything is going to work. But bro, this game, it looks visually good. The combat system is completely different. The characters are looking really awesome. Like, this game is just so good, man. I'm very excited for Pokemon Legends ZA. I really don't have many complaints. Like, I really don't think that there's much that I'm disappointed about. I really feel like this is going to be the last Pokemon game on the Nintendo Switch before Gen 10 on the Switch 2. And this is really going to feel like probably the best Pokemon experience. So what a great way to end off Pokemon content on this current Nintendo Switch. And even after all of that exciting stuff with Pokemon Legends ZA, there was still another announcement, which arguably might be even more insane for me, and that is Pokemon Champions. This feels like the biggest dream come true type of situation if it's actually going to be what I think it is, which is a Pokemon battle simulator focused type of game. And this is something that people have been asking for literal years, for there to just be like a game that is focused exclusively on Pokemon battles and have a lot of the competitive action with Pokemon battles just take place inside of this game. Because pretty much what we always have right now with Pokemon games is whenever a new generation comes out, it introduces new Pokemon, new abilities, new items, new gimmicks, all that type of stuff, and then the competitive scene takes place inside of that generation until the next one comes out. And as a result, there's obviously going to be certain Pokemon that aren't going to be available. There's going to be Pokemon that are cut. There's going to be Pokemon items and gimmicks that aren't going to be coming back and stuff like that. But this now is looking like it's going to be a game that is going to be focused exclusively on having like really, really good looking Pokemon Stadium-like battles that are going to be very high fidelity, and they're going to be like basically like Pokemon Stadium or like Pokemon Battle Revolution. If you guys remember how those games were and how amazing the battles look like, it's essentially going to be like that, but now you're going to be able to face off against other Pokemon trainers around the world. You're going to be able to battle people, and it says right here, get ready to experience everything you love about Pokemon battles all in one place in Pokemon Champions. This new battle-focused game will feature familiar mechanics such as Pokemon types, abilities, and moves, creating an environment conducive to the rich and varied styles for new and experienced trainers alike. It's not just familiar mechanics, you'll be able to bring in classic Pokemon from Pokemon Home too. Look forward to the cross-platform battles alongside your favorite Pokemon on Nintendo Switch and mobile, with a variety of different modes available for your desired experience. Honestly, if you're somebody who likes competitive battling a lot, then this might be the only Pokemon game that you're ever gonna need now. Like, if they constantly have updates where they're adding like the new Pokemon that they're introducing later, and they're adding like the new gimmicks and everything, this could just be the best Pokemon game ever for you. Because I don't know if this is going to be free, but even if it isn't, even if you have to pay like $60 once for like a really premium, high quality Pokemon battle experience, it's going to be worth it. Because I don't know how many of you guys are like this, but there's a lot of people in this boat who you care a lot mostly about like the VGC and the competitive battling scene, and every time a new Pokemon game comes out with like a new generation, you don't really care that much about like the actual main adventure or the story or anything. You care about just beating the game so that you can get right into the VGC stuff and start doing competitive battles and raising Pokemon and training them and stuff to make them exactly how you want. And so if this game now is just going to be all of that type of stuff, all focused into that, then that means that they can even spend more time now to make these new upcoming generations even better, because they don't have to put a focus now onto the competitive scene for that type of stuff, because all of the new items, the new gimmicks, all that stuff that they introduce inside of a new generation, they can have an update come out and add that into patches inside of Pokemon Champions. And then you can have all of the brand new Pokemon from that generation get added in here, all of the new items and all of that. And then just really, this could become like the new mainstream Pokemon game for competitive play. Like, if they really have like a really good like speculating mode inside of this, and like you can spectate battles and have it look really high fidelity with like really amazing animations and stuff like what we can see here, like they literally show us a terrestrializing Pokemon inside of the trailer fighting off against a Pokemon that is mega evolved with like Mega Charizard, I'm pretty sure. So if you can have all these different gimmicks, held items, natures, abilities, all of that type of stuff, and it's going to be easy to customize how you want your Pokemon to be as well, they pretty much won. They pretty much ended Pokemon Showdown right here. Like, you have no reason anymore to use Pokemon Showdown, because the only reason Pokemon Showdown exists is because it's an easy way for you to customize pretty much exactly how you want your Pokemon to be. You can customize their natures, their abilities, their EVs, their IVs, exactly how you want with just a couple of clicks. And if you can do that inside of this game and create Pokemon how you want to, and just be able to use those in terms of battles, they created the best Pokemon competitive battling game of all time. Like, I'm really hoping that this is what they're going to try to do, and they're really going to push for this to be like the focus of the competitive scene, and having people who really enjoy Pokemon battles to just really play this game and have all of the competitive battles here. And the fact that you can even do this on your phone, that's incredible, but it makes sense, right? Pokemon battles themselves are just turn-based battles. You're just tapping what attack and stuff you want to do. It's very possible that you can do this on your phone. I'm just hoping that this doesn't mean that it's going to be like a watered-down version of the game, because it has to run on mobile devices too. I am hoping that the Switch version is going to be very high quality and it's going to look really nice, and then you're going to have like a mobile version too. But yeah, this is just sounding super exciting. I'm not even like a huge like competitive battler. I don't go to like VGC tournaments or regionals or anything, but I do like to dip my toes into competitive battling. And so if this is going to make it easy now for anybody who was interested in Pokemon battling but doesn't want to take the time to like raise their Pokemon and have to find Pokemon that they want to use, especially if you can like borrow Pokemon too, like if they have like the rental codes and stuff like that, again, this could genuinely be one of the coolest things, and I can't wait to learn more information about exactly how interesting they're going to make this and really how in-depth they're going to go, because this could really just become all you need if you care about competitive battles. But yeah, there you go, guys. Those are pretty much all of my thoughts on the Pokemon Presents. I'm just so happy. Like, I was going into this Pokemon Presents kind of excited too, just looking at Pokemon Legends EA, because I was already so happy with Pokemon Legends Arceus. I was like, I'm excited to see what a sequel is going to be like to that type of game and how they can build upon it. And to see that game and having a completely different combat style, the game looks visually beautiful, and then having an entire Pokemon battle simulator game, like, this is like a dream come true type of Pokemon Presents for me. So I do apologize if I was talking really fast. I'm just very excited from all of this information. This was honestly one of the best Pokemon Presents for me, so definitely be sure to click that like button if you guys enjoyed the video, and also subscribe to the channel as well. I'm definitely gonna have some more videos talking about Pokemon, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on that. Comment down below and let me know what you think about all of this as well. How do you feel about all of these Pokemon announcements? How do you feel about Pokemon Legends EA? How do you feel about this Pokemon Champions Battle Simulator type of game? What do you think about everything? Definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know. But if you don't have anything to say about it, just comment your favorite emoji down below for some engagement. I would really appreciate it. Go follow me on Twitter at @Aero so you can be featured in videos, and also join my Discord server as well. We've got a bunch of people in there who are always talking about Pokemon and Smash Bros and Nintendo, so definitely be sure to join that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for watching.